कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्य अष्टप्रदेशतारिणे। Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Gaur, Hari Gaur, Hari Gaur. Nitai Gaur Hari Gaur, Hari Gaur, Hari Gaur. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Gaur Premanande Hari. Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So our seminar is coming to an end. I hope you have liked this program, like this seminar, and learned something from this. That is the main idea. Actually, I started this program when I had some physical difficulty in 2008, and at that time doctor told me not to travel too much, so I was thinking that there are so many devotees that I need to meet at different parts of the world. How can I stop traveling altogether? So at that time, in consultation with some other devotees, we decided that I would go to one place and let everybody come there in different continents, different parts of the world. And so I thought that's a very good idea actually. Instead of me going to 7 different places for one day, if I just go to one place for 7 days and devotees come there, that probably that will be easier on me and it will be beneficial for others also. And with that understanding, I started these programs of seminars. The first one was in Switzerland, at a very nice location. We went to a skiing resort. And the skiing resort, people go there during winter, and in summertime it's empty. So we took over a whole hotel, entire hotel. And that was actually the end of the road. Like the road doesn't go beyond that, didn't go beyond. Like then from there you have to go up on the mountains on cable cars. And so it was actually very beautiful. Even in summer there was a glacier, like there was ice. Anyway, so we took over the whole hotel, and so that was the first one. And then the next I had in America, Orlando. And Orlando also was very nice. I was in Orlando, I was spending time in Orlando because I kind of recuperating in Orlando. It has a very good medical facilities because many people go there for medical treatment because of the weather and other things. And there I got to know one Gujarati hotel owner, and he gave his whole hotel to us. And so we had the second seminar in Orlando. So in this way we started, and we also had one in South Africa. I think the South Africa also we had it in Drakensberg only, but in some other location. Then we had one in Australia. So we more or less covered various places. And of course in India we had also in Mayapur, in Calcutta, not Mayapur actually, it was Calcutta. And that is how we started, and we thought of the themes. Like prior to that, I think the first one was kind of I forgot what was the theme of the seminar. No, prior to that, I remember I gave a seminar on our spiritual heritage. And I actually had been giving seminars for quite some time. Like I remember, one of the first seminars I gave was in Radhadesh in Belgium. And the theme was Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Madhurya Kadambini. Madhurya Kadambini. And so that was the first one. Generally those days I was giving the seminars on philosophical topics like that. The next one was our spiritual heritage and like that. And then I began to notice that when we talk about, when you spoke about philosophy, people tend to fall asleep, devotees tend to fall asleep. But when I told stories, then they woke up. So then I thought, let me just give a seminar based on more on stories. And so what to start off, naturally the first choice was Mahabharata. But then I thought that if I give a thing on Mahabharata, then I will be able to go back to Ramayana. So I thought, better let me start off with Ramayana. So we started like that. First Ramayana, then Mahabharata, and then it gradually went to Krishna's pastimes and Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. And in between I also gave some seminars on Srila Prabhupada. Then Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan, Krishna's pastimes out of Vrindavan. So now we came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And many devotees actually told me that it was so, devotees don't read about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Devotees read Bhagavad Gita, devotees read Srimad Bhagavatam, but they rarely read Chaitanya Charitamrita, and therefore they don't really get to know much about Sri Chaitanya. And so it seems that devotees, you all benefited from this seminar. Because when you get to know Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everything is actually there in his teaching, his pastime. Bhagavad Gita is included, Srimad Bhagavatam is included, everything is included there. So, and the purpose of these seminars is not to give you a total understanding of the topic, but to give you a basic outline of the topic and generate an interest in you so that you probe deeper into it. So, and remember, through this, what are the important things to remember about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastime? And the most important thing is to remember what was the purpose of his appearance. Why did he come? And it became very, very clear from the very outset, from the very beginning of his appearance, that he came to distribute the holy name. He came to inspire people to chant the holy name. And even at the time of his birth, he made everyone chant the holy name. As a little child, as a little baby, he made everyone chant. Do you remember that? Like how Mahaprabhu used to cry, and he would stop crying only when they chanted the holy name. So when they stopped chanting, he started to cry. And when they started to chant, he laughed. So this is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu expects. We should remember that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu not only cried when he was a child, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sees that we all are not chanting, then he is sad. I gave them such a wonderful benediction, still they don't want to take advantage of it. I went out of my way, Mahaprabhu is considered. I sent my pure devotees to inspire him to chant in the holy name. But still they don't want to chant. On the other hand, when we chant in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, becomes very pleased. Always remember that. He is there. Bahir Nishingha, Hridaya Nishingha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is outside and He is also in our hearts. We may not be able to see Him, but didn't it become clear from Prahlad Maharaj's encounter with Hiranyakashipu? Hiranyakashipu asked, "Where is your Hari?" And Prahlad Maharaj's response was, "He's everywhere." Now, Hiranyakashipu could not imagine that everywhere could mean really everywhere. So his thing was, he thought an impossible situation would be, is he in the thumb, in this pillar? Is he in this pillar? And what was Prahlad's response? Yes, he's there also. He's everywhere. And he did manifest himself. Therefore, through these happenings, through these incidents, we must remember that how the Lord is And when he sees that we are chanting, he'll be happy. And it has been mentioned, Mahaprabhu himself actually explained the glory of the holy name, the meaning of the holy name. And he also mentioned there that even if just one chants without understanding why he's chanting, still he will derive spiritually. So what to speak of consciously chanting the holy name to please the Lord in order to fulfill His command, His devotees' request. If we chant, how pleased the Lord will be. So with that understanding, let us take proper shelter of the holy name of the Lord, and we will see what an inconceivable benefit we derive out of it. And the proof is the time of death. And how many of you seen devotees leaving their body? And how was that? Was it an ordinary departure, or there was something unusual, something extraordinary? There are so many such wonderful how devotees left their bodies. In that respect, I recall one 22-year-old girl in Pune, a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj. Her name was Shyam Sundari, very, very sweet girl. And she developed some sort of disease, incurable disease. I don't remember what it was. And all of a sudden, she got an attack. She fainted and she was taken to the hospital. She was in ICU. When she regained her consciousness, she found that there were needles and all kinds of things, oxygen. So she told them to take everything off. And she requested the devotees to chant the holy name. And she left her body. Just imagine a 22-year-old girl. And another elderly lady in London, she had cancer. She was to leave her, when she was about to leave her body, she had a japamala in her hand. She was chanting. And just before leaving the body, she lifted her hand, placed the mala, japamala on her head. She left her. So when one leaves one's body like that, also that reminds me Anandamaya's mother, when she left her body. Such a remarkable. And we are seeing many devotees who left the movement actually. Long got lost completely, proper disciple. Got lost, probably became quite degraded, developed some unpleasant disease. And when the time came, when they realized that they were going to leave their body, they just came back to the devotee community. And they left their bodies surrounded by white. That also reminds me, one devotee, he was a sannyasi, he was a Frenchman, French devotee. And soon after Srila Prabhupada's disappearance, he gave up his sannyasa, got lost, we didn't know where he was. Nobody knew where he was. Then one day, one lady saw some devotee and asked her, "Can you please tell me what is Prabhupada?" So he said, actually Prabhupada is the name of our founder. So he asked, "Why are you asking?" So she said, "You see, my boyfriend, I knew that he was at one time here the Hare Krishna. And when he was leaving his body, he practically sat up and said, Prabhupada, you came. And he fell back. You know, he got completely lost, left the movement, gave up the association of devotees, probably gave up the spiritual life altogether. He may have forgotten Prabhupada, but Prabhupada didn't forget all the service that he rendered. So, at that time, Prabhupada came to rescue. So this is the ultimate benefit of taking shelter of the holy name, taking shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, taking shelter of Sri Prabhupada. So please accept this process wholeheartedly, with full conviction. And I can assure you, you can never go wrong. You can never go wrong taking shelter of this process. Time and time again we have seen the proof. I mean, you may fake other times, but you can't fake it at the time of death. That is the time you have to be absolutely real. And that is the most wonderful proof. And we are also seeing all kinds of miracles that are happening. Like somebody is so badly ill, so seriously ill, appears to have that he'll be leaving his body. And then the word goes around and the devotees start to pray and he becomes all right. What wonderful example is Jayapataka Maharaj. His condition was so serious. When he had that stroke, we took him to the hospital, and it was early in the morning actually, just even before Mangal Arati. The Maharaj had the stroke, so he was taken to the hospital, and at that time, it was not the experts or rather what's it called, brain surgeons and things were not there, so early. So when they came and they checked him, they said that it's very, very serious. You won't be able to survive. That evening, I remember the owner of that hospital, Hinduja, himself, Hinduja's youngest brother lives in Bombay. And so he came with the head of that department, the head surgeon of the department, and another, so three of them came. They came to Gopal Krishna Maharaj's room in Bombay Temple. And Gopal Krishna Maharaj called me. So I went down to his room and he told that they came to tell us that we should be prepared for Jayapataka Maharaj to leave his body. It was so serious. Mind you, they are all experts. And it was from that point when they were expecting that he would leave his body that night. Look what a recovery. Physically he has become a little handicapped, but his mind and intelligence has become even sharper than before. Now, they were saying, then when he actually started to recover, then the doctors said that he will become paralyzed all his life. He won't be able to. That means, and he will be, and he was in coma. And actually that condition was so critical. But now he was supposed to have, his brain is supposed to have gone dead. But now we can see that his brain has become even more alive than before. So these are the most amazing examples that we are seeing right in front of our eyes. Things like this can never, they can't explain how this happens. Medically, clinically, they couldn't explain, we asked them. He said that this is, and they admit, it is all due to Krishna's mercy. Because when they cannot explain why things happen in a certain way, they have to admit that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is there. And He is making it. So this is how most wonderfully Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is demonstrating, in order so that we can generate our conviction, develop our faith. Thank you all very much. So, I was discussing with the organizers and we decided that all these days I had been speaking, now I would hear you all to speak. So, generally we do that at the end of the seminar. We want devotees to give their experience and understanding and realization. So, how many of you would like to speak something about this? Okay. Let's take the names. Jadurani, was it Shamananda? You raised your hand. Nishingananda also, and Randhir. Okay, take the names. Why, do you have some pen and paper, or give me the pen and paper? Or you take the names and write it down. Okay, raise your hands once again, those who want. Yeah. Okay, give your names. Did you take the name behind you? The personality just behind you? Okay. Did Sri Radharaman's hand go up? Okay. And Anagasaki? Okay. So, did everyone? Yeah. Give your name. How many names did you get?
7. I'll go around if there's any other.
Huh?
I'll go around if there's any other devotees.
Okay.